Hey, what is up, guys? And welcome back to another Magic the Gathering online league. We are here once again with Eldrazi Ramp. We are on the draw for game one against J-Rod, though it does seem we're going into this blind and... This is an interesting hand. I will keep it. So we will reveal 3 Devourers and pass. That might be a bit excessive. I think we try and go for a turn 2 Karn here, though maybe not given Sacred Foundry. Interesting. So probably Boros Energy, yeah? So maybe just turn to Rumble. Try and ramp. Ragavan is the right choice there, unfortunately. Well, let's take a peek. So return is good. I think there might just be an argument for going return, isn't there? We go Rumble, find a land. So yeah, let's go return. Return. So now I didn't see a single lab. Return. Okay. We'll draw the return. Utopia Sprawl on red. And we pray to Hellenback they don't Static Prison the Utopia Sprawl. That would be brutal. Ragavan hits. Grabs a command. Not great. Not horrible. I couldn't cast it right now, so kind of okay. Cast a Guide of Souls. And holds. Well, there's the lab we were looking for. Tuck the Devourer. So we could just go Rumble here. So let's go Rumble. And I think just clear the board. Grab the Eldrazi Temple. And cast Kozilek's Return. This puts Return in the graveyard. We're 1 away from Devourer. You have Karn next turn as well. Overall, this seems like a strong play on turn 2. I don't see a way from them recovering from it easily. I would have liked for them to have overextended a bit more, but I think there's a good time to cast this. Opponents think any of that Moto is. Yep, Arid Mesa, correct. Surveil land, finding Galvanic Discharge, which is not doing much right now. Casting Flage. Okay, so this is actually really good for us because we go Karn tick down and go Tormod's Crypt. Exile the yard. Well, actually, we can just hold it, right? There's no reason for us to activate Tormod's Crypt right away. There's a Talisman. So we can go Talisman of Impulse. Moto's struggling. Go Karn. Karn tick down. Yes. Grab Tormod's Crypt. Cast Tormod's Crypt. Hold up Tormod's Crypt. So right now 5 in the grave. So they are 1 short of escaping Flage, and Tormod's Crypt will ensure that stays that way. Yeah, Butter? You've been very chatty tonight. Galvanic Discharge targeting Karn. Well, in response, yes, in response, Tormod's Crypt. Pass. Karn down. Karn did what it needed to do. It took care of what I needed to take care of. Guidasouls, yes. A Johnny? Another Flage. That's fine. We will exile the Guidasouls. 2, 4, 6, 7. Oh, I did not tap the Eldrazi Temple. Trigger target guide. Pass. We will not trigger return. And pass. Yeah, I definitely need to restart Moto after this match, I think. Another Kozilek's return. Well, let's go to combat. Tempted to cast the other Devourer. The only downside is going to take out a Utopia Sprawl. I think we're best just sitting back on the return and the Devourer in hand. I mean, what can they really do at this point? They play a creature, it gets devoured. They don't play a creature, I beat them in the face. Yeah, that's fine. You want to go to combat? Even better. Let's go ahead and cast Kozilek's Return. Pass. Let's go ahead and kick the Sowing Mycospawn. Get rid of a Sacred Foundry. Grab a Shifting Woodland. Do I have anything in the graveyard? I guess I can grab Tormod's Crypt. That actually might be relevant. We'll grab Shifting Woodland. And attack. And pass. Alright, game 1 down against Boros Energy. Let's go to sideboard. We'll bring in 2 Dismember, cut 2 Mycospawn. I do wonder if maybe cutting Thought-Knot Seer is better here. Like, yes, we could Thought-Knot and strip out a Blood Moon or a Charmaw. Is that better than Sowing Mycospawn? Hard to say. We did make some changes to the list by bringing in Commercial District, an extra forest, and cutting down on 2 Thought-Knot Seer. Oh, actually, and also an All Is Dust. So I don't think we actually cut down on, or we didn't add additional forests. We have 5 forests, cut down on, oh, we did. No, we did bring in a forest. We cut the Overgrown Tomb for Commercial District. That's right. Went for another utility land. Was thinking about either commercial district or possibly thinking about a Sanctum of Ugin. Still not sure which one would be better. Commercial district I think is a little bit better, as it is more or less a draw one, also allowing you to fill the grave. But we are on the draw for game 2. Hand's a bit slow. It's a turn 3 Myco spawn. Not really thrilled about it. So we'll mulligan. This hand is not keepable, period. Awkward. I will keep it. So we definitely want the 2 temples. We want the command. I want the Utopia Sprawl, but I'm not sure I can keep it. I think I need to drop the Breaker and the Sprawl. Yeah. The Breaker is really nice. The problem, it's like this was an untapped land. If this was either the Tomb or another forest, but if it was a Sanctum of Ugin, it wouldn't be any better. Ugh. Yeah, so if it was another forest, that would be so good. But it's not. I think I do keep this, though. And pass to opponent. Sacred Foundry. Ragavan. Draw. Okay. Alright. That is a Kozilek's return. I do like that. Well, Ragavan will definitely get a hit in. That much is clear. I'm a little bit concerned about playing a second Eldrazi Temple into a Charmal, I'll be real. Ocelot Pride, Arid Mesa, and Pass. If they have another land, they will be able to Charmal. If not, we have command to get rid of Ragavan. We'll take the risk, and we'll hold up the command. Kind of wish that was a red source. Actually, it wouldn't matter if it was red source. We wouldn't have the 3. Arid Mesa for a Parlor. Parlor resolves. Do you have a 4th land? Actually, you don't even need 4. You just need the 3 plus a treasure token. Right, never mind. Never mind, you have enough for Charmal, right? Yes, you do. Because it's 5. And I discounted by 2. Oh, you have the Arena of Glory as well. Okay, if you had the Charmal, you would have hasted it. Interesting. Do I take the hit? I don't want to take the hit. We'll take the hit from Ocelot Pride, though. That's fine. Yep. Because we can sweep the tokens. Ragavan just gives them so much value. At the same time, like, is the treasure plus... not sure. Wonder if it would have been okay just to eat the damage from Ragavan. Wait, is this a Charmal? If so, why wouldn't you have hasted it? Seasoned Pyromancer. Okay. That is fine. Yep, Wear Tear Mountain. Ocelot Pride triggers. Devourer of Destiny. Well, let's go Forest. let's cast a Mycospawn. Oh, I do not want to tap all of them. Just one. And we will not kick the Mycospawn. We're going to grab a Stomping Grounds. Stomping Ground. Untapped. Alright, and we will pass. No reason to cast it right now. I have to know what we have. Are we hasting? In response. And pass. Arid Mesa crack. Do you have an Ajani? A Seasoned Pyromancer. Will you ping the Mycospawn? You ping the Mycospawn. Rude. Forest. Well, let's go ahead and Devour. I don't think it's correct to trigger return, however. I will get rid of Goblin Bombardment, though. Pass. I will not trigger return. Don't think there's really a good reason to do so right now. Doesn't get a ton of value. Now, they do have to consider sacrificing the Seasoned Pyromancer, which is really funny. That's one really cool thing about the return, I will admit. It forces them to consider, and we just choose not to. Yeah, works out in my favor, to say the least. 3 cards in hand. Well, the return has proved useful. Kind of wish this commercial district was a Sanctum. Like in this moment, Sanctum of Ugin would have been really good. Would have set me up for another 7-drop next turn. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3 short of Emrakul. Kozilek's command. Well, let's commercial district. Speak the devil and it shall appear. Top of the library. Go to combat. Butter. But we don't touch wires, sir. I know you want attention. Fledgestrand crack. Yes. Okay, I was about to say, what's happening here? But exiling Seasoned Pyromancer, that's fine. I have no real qualms with that. Flage. Blood Moon. Well, in response, I will cast... Yeah, Butter. Butter. No Plane of Fires, but... He just can't help himself when he wants attention. Oh, Kozilek's command X equals what? 5? Well, let's drop the Misty Rainforest. I guess go Rumble, top, bottom, top, and top. Blood Moon resolves. We'll hold up the Eldrazi spawns just in case. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 14. Static Prison targeting what? Yes, that's fine. I'll take that back next turn. I will take the 2 down to 12. And two, three, four. Emrakul will target you. I will not sweep. No reason to. No. Alright. Ooh, it's a Ragavan. Well, let's draw. Static Prison. Yes. Yes. No. No. An Ocelot Pride and a Ragavan. Well, let's dash the monkey. Go to combat. Attack with 2. Go to blocks. Block and block. And yeah, there wasn't anything else other than Seasoned Pyromancer. So we pass, and we pass. Trigger on the stack. Alright, and you pass. I mean, lethal's on board unless they draw into a Static Prison. Yeah, you got it. Ocelot Pride, yes. Well, we'll cast Malevolent Rumble. Might as well grab the Thought-Knot Seer. I can X3 a command. Actually, X4 a command. Probably do that. Which means we can go to combat. I'll attack in. Block with an elemental token. Well, what we'll do is block the Ocelot Pride and then sack it before damage. So no cats for you. But of course they would draw into the one card that saves them. That's so unfortunate. Draws. To combat. Go to blocks. I shall block. D4 damage. I will cast. Done. Karn the Great Creator, Devourer of Destiny. So I have plenty of options here. Thoughtnaught's probably the worst of all of them. So we'll go Karn top, Devourer top. Well, let's get rid of the Static Prism. And opponent concedes. Alright, clean 2-0 victory against Boros Energy. With that being said, we'll be back with match number 2. Alright, and we are back for match 2 against Razel474. No results on them, so we are going in blind. On the play in game 1. Opening hand is good. I do like this. This is a turn 3 breaker, so I'll keep. We'll tuck the Emrakul. Play Temple. And then either play Forest or Verdant Catacombs and profit. Inspiring Vantage. This feels like Burn. And that's a Bolt Wave. And that's Burn. Okay. We'll go Eldrazi Temple. Pass. Imagine if they had a creature, they would have played it. So they just burn the face. Two. Eidolon. We'll go ahead and exile that. We'll go ahead and cast Exile. Done. We'll go ahead and cast World Breaker. Exile Inspiring Vantage. And it's a big beater, and you're down a land, so we're in a good spot. Shock down to 18. 5 cards in hand. Rift Bolt. Bolt Wave. 3 cards in hand. Well, let's go Verdant Catacombs Crack. We'll grab a Commercial District. Tapped. Thoughtnaught's here. It's not the best card in the world, but it surely is a card. We'll go to combat. Down to 13. Hold up the ability to respond if needed. We'll go down to 10. Four cards in hand, a Sunbaked Canyon. Monastery Swift Spirit. That's mildly unfortunate that you drew into that. Will not lie. Do you have an instant? There is a Boros Charm. Down to 5. Well, the Thought Knot will help. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we are short on Emrakul. Or 1, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, yeah. So short on Emrakul. We'll go down to 5, down to 4. That's right. Goes 4 plus 2, 6, yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll play Cavern of Souls. Name Eldrazi. Let's go ahead and cast Thought Knot Seer. Thought Knot Seer sees a Scalding Tarn. Unfortunate. A Boros Charm will kill me. Down to 7. Lethal is on board. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We are still short on Emrakul. Did you find the Boros Charm? Scalding Tarn down to 6. Finds a Surveil land, question mark? Anything short of a Boros Charm loses this game. All is dust. Digging. Like, you should crack the Scalding Tarn first. Did you find the Boros Charm? To combat. Lethal damage. And we got there. So Boros Burn, win for game 1. Definitely a close one, though. I mean, return does hit a lot. This member's painful. I think everything's fine. Maybe bring in a Might. But, like, being able to grab that of Karn would be good. Yeah, I think we just run it back as is, no changes. I don't think there's anything to be changed. On the draw for game 2, hand's a bit meh. Like, we have the Kozilek's return, we have the Karn. We're just short. Like, if we had one forest, this would be so much better. But we don't. Yeah, I think we mulligan this. Okay, so now we have the Utopia Sprawl, Talisman on turn 2, but then nothing really after. I guess a Kozilek's command X1. It's not great. I'll be honest. I mean, you have a chance of drawing into 8 copies of a Soul Land, Lab, or Temple. That makes it infinitely better. 8 out of 53. What, like close to a 1 out of 7? Screw it, we'll keep it, drop a card. A wear and tear will be a bit backbreaking though, since we don't have a second land. Monastery Swiftspear. Riftbolt. Commercial District. Okay, so we have the second land at least. Red. Pass. Bolt the face. Down to 17. Mountain, land for turn. Lava Spike. Nothing as follow-up though, that's odd. Well, let's go Commercial District. Windswept Heath to the grave? Yeah. And I guess we can just put it to the top and then... No, we'll put it to the grave, yeah. Impulse. Pass. So next time we have Karn, for what it's worth. I think Karn grabbing Haywire Might would be good. We can bolt down to 11. Still short on casting Kozilek's command. Another forest. Well, let's go ahead and cast Karn. Minus Karn. I'm tempted to grab Chalice of the Void. Go Chalice on 1 next turn. Otherwise, we could grab Haywire Might as a blocker. I feel like Karn dies here, so whatever you grab is whatever you grab. Let's go for a blocker. It gains me 2 life, it acts as a blocker. I think it's worth it. The worst thing that happens is a Searing Blaze, in which case we see them crack the Arid Mesa, cast the Searing Blaze, landfall trigger, Hero Might dies, I gain 2, take 3, lose a total of 1. So that would be the worst case scenario. Shock. Or, yeah, shock. Why shock there? Unless you have, what, like, Boros Charm Bolt? Maybe you have 3 bolts or equivalent. Isn't Lava Spike in Riftbolt sorcery though, so I'm gonna guess Boros Charm Bolt. Maybe Searing Blaze. Okay, Searing Blaze. We gained the 2 up to 13, so that's fine. Didn't realize Searing Blaze was any target. Player or Planeswalker. Good to know. Sunbake Canyon. Draw a card. Alright. Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is kicking the Mycospawn worth it? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Huh. Let's go ahead and just cast it regularly. we'll have a command X1 available, and if we really need X2. But I think we'll hold off on cracking it right away. The next turn we have Emrakul. 2. Searing Blaze. Skullcrack. Yes. Down to 7. So a bolt or bolt equivalent and a Boros Charm wins. Okay, well, let's go Kozilek's command X1. So 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I do not need the Ugin's Lab. Utopia Sprawl. Draw. Devour of Destiny. Well, let's go mana neutral on the Utopia Sprawl. We'll go red. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You want to cast your burn spells now? Otherwise I'm putting them at your face. Oh, you have a Boros Charm? You do have the Boros Charm. Do you have the Bolt? You do not have the Bolt. Alright, well let's see... A Searing Blaze. Draw. Skewer the Critics. So I can deal 1 damage to target player, planeswalker, 1 damage to that target creature that player or planeswalker controls. And then Skewer the Critics. Spectacle. To any target. Well, so I need to Searing Blaze. Because if I don't, it's 3 damage to me if they landfall it. So let's go... I can't choose you, right? Wait, I can? One damage to target player or planeswalker, and 1 damage to target creature that player or planeswalker controls. Oh, but I control it. Yes. Wait, does that work? Does that work that way? Hold on. I really want to see if that worked. I don't know if that does. I need to look that up on Scryfall now. Leave a comment down below. I might not find the answer to this, but I really want to know the answer now. Because does it work since I'm controlling their turn? Since I'm the controller? But it's their turn? I don't think it works that way, right? Searing Blaze. I didn't... Oh, Jesus Christ. They thought I said its name. Searing Blaze. Having more on lands. Ability checks for an action that has happened. The effects, no. Choose 2 targets as you cast a player and a creature that player controls. If you can't because there are no creatures on the battlefield. If either target is illegal, it still deals damage to other target. Why does this read in a way that I feel like I shouldn't be able to target my own creature, though? When I'm the one casting it. Searing Blaze and Emrakul. the promised end. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna find the answer to my question. Because the way that Searing Blaze reads, unless maybe I'm misinterpreting it, is that it states Searing Blaze deals 1 damage to target. Stop. Blaze deals 1 damage to target player or planeswalker, and 1 damage to target creature that player or planeswalker controls. Planeswalker's target player or that planeswalker's controller controls. So should I be able to target my opponent with their Searing Blaze and target my creature? I own the creature. Is it because it says controller? Is that why? I don't know. Yeah, I would have loved my opponent not to have conceded to see if it's possible on Moto, but I would love for a judge or someone who knows the ruling to comment down below whether or not I could resolve that, whether or not that was a legal action, because that genuinely may come up in a relevant point in time. That being said, solid 2-0. We'll be back for match 3. All right, and we're back for match 3 against Seer Aris. No results, so go in and blind once again. On the draw for game 1, I'll keep this hand. Reveal Devourer. And pass. Okay, so it's Belcher. So a Karn would be good. Well, we can try and get into Karn faster with command. Otherwise, we can try and chip away at their lands with Myco spawns. We got, what, a turn 2 Myco spawn, potentially a turn 3 Myco spawn, potentially kicked. Let's... Dang, this is tough. Command lets us dig deeper, but we might need to just chip away at land instead. We'll grab the Myco spawn. This could be rough. Well, let's go Temple Pass. And pass. We'll play the Verdant Catacombs. I think I'll grab a Stomping Grounds just in case there's a situation where casting this Kozilek's Return is relevant. What do they find? Find the Belcher. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Well, now we really need to hope they don't have a way to counter this Malevolent Rumble. So yeah, I think we go Stomping Grounds untapped. Go Malevolent Rumble. So that's 4 if it resolves. This might be too slow. We really need a soul land here. Well, we'll grab the Breaker in case it becomes relevant. And we pass. So right now we have 4, 5. We really need a soul land. Because then we can chip away at a land, delaying Charbelcher. Well, I guess even if we're able to resolve Sowing Myco Spawn, unless they're able to activate Charbelcher on the same turn, we'll be able to then cast a World Breaker. So we might be okay. Because right now we're at 4. We'll hold up the ability to respond if relevant. There's a coast. And there's a archaeologist. Archaeologist mills over. Whir and Flare. The Flare of Denial is unfortunate. They will take Flare. Makes sense. They'll attack in with Trainer. Or not. Not sure why they wouldn't. Soulland? No. We wouldn't be that lucky. Well, let's go Wooded Foothills. Crack Wooded Foothills. Let's grab a forest. Let's cast a Sowing Mycospawn. Flaring this does nothing, so the creature's resolution should be fine. We'll grab Eldrazi Temple. So they now have to raise the question of whether or not they can afford to play the Charbelcher, knowing that I have the Breaker in hand. They bolt it. And they play the Charbelcher. Okay. That is fine. There's no way for them to stop the trigger. So we will go ahead and cast Worldbreaker. And get rid of Charbelcher. Charbelcher is in exile. We'll attack with Sowing Mycospawn to apply pressure. Okay. You have another Charbelcher. You have another Charbelcher. We are short one land. Thank God for that. I'm not going to test my luck with trying to cast Malevolent Rumble. Worldbreaker, target. To combat. No blocks. We have lethal on board. And we got there. Whew. So, Azorius Belcher. Win for game one. The Worldbreaker's absolutely coming in clutch. Alright, well, return really isn't doing too much here. I do want to say I have a sideboard guide for Belcher. Cut 2 Mycospawn, 2 return, and dust for a Might, Brain, Dismember, Leveler. Still makes sense to me in the moment. Dismember for Tameshi. And dust really isn't doing too much here. On the draw for game 2, this hand does look solid. I will keep it. It is a bit reliant on top deck, though, I will admit that. We are going to play around the possibility of a Harbinger. Actually, that wouldn't really matter, would it? Well, let's go Misty. Crack Misty. Because the forest... Actually, no, the forest would not become an island. So we can still play around the Harbinger. I go Utopia Sprawl, this time on black. For Dismember. We'll ramp with the Myco Spawn. And casting Trainer. What does Trainer find? There's a whir. That's concerning. Draw. Command. A command can go pretty deep next turn. Sowing Myco Spawn. This will at least apply a bit of pressure. We could go Commercial District here. I think that's correct, because we have the Eldrazi Temple and we're looking for something. Commercial District. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 isn't really going to do it. So I think we bin the Emrakul. It's also interesting because we do have the Shifting Woodland. Sowing Myco Spawn resolves. We pass. So we could apply a lot of pressure, not next turn, but the turn after. Holding up for the whir. Talisman of Impulse. That's not really doing too much here. Well, let's attack in with the Sowing Myco Spawn. The question now is, do they win if I leave them to their own devices? I'm going to assume the answer is yes. Let's go ahead and Utopia Sprawl. It is mana neutral to do so. If they want to counter it, that's fine. For green this time. Play the Temple. Let's play around Jawari Disruption. Does Kozilek's command resolve? Do you have a flare? Okay. Well, bottom, 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 top. Karn demands an answer. Do you have the flare? That's the only way you're going to be able to do both the whir and counter Karn. Okay, there's the whir. Karn resolves. You have no white sources currently. Karn tick up on Lotus Bloom and pass. So even if unless you have a untapped white source, you won't be able to use Tameshi. And we'll pass. There's the tapped white source. Malevolent Rumble. Well, let's go ahead and tick down with Karn. We'll go ahead and grab Disruptor Flute. Let's go ahead and play a Shifting Woodland. Let's go ahead and cast Malevolent Rumble. Another Karn. What could a second Karn grab us? A second Karn could grab us a Tormod Script for Tameshi. And still be able to hold up Flute. Let's grab Karn. Does Karn resolve? Karn 2 resolves. Minus Karn. Grab a Tormod Script. I mean, we could also grab Coding, but that means we couldn't hold up Flute. So Tormod Script. Does Tormod Script resolve? Disrupting Shoal. Go to combat. Attack with Sowing Mycospawn. We're holding up Flute. I don't foresee a way for them to get out of this. Even with Tameshi, they can't then activate Bloom. It'll just get them a draw. And we have Lethal on board. There's Tameshi. Tameshi resolves. Yep. They'll grab the Lotus Bloom. Puts time counters on Lotus Bloom. I don't think they see lethal damage, but we have it with the Shifting Woodland. Tapped. Yes. Well, let's activate Shifting Woodland, targeting Emrakul the Promised End. Does this resolve? I don't think there's anything that you could play that will counter this. I guess Surgical Extraction? But yeah, don't think you have it. I don't think you have it. Clean 2-0 against Azorius Belcher. And we'll be back for match 4. Alright, and we are back for match 4 against XAKX47X. No results, so once again, going in blind. We're on the play for game 1. This hand is keepable. We will keep. Go to main. Utopia Sprawl on red. And pass. And pass. Polluted Delta. So feels like it is going to be Dimir Frog. Cracks Polluted Delta. Well, we'll use Kozilek's command as permission. See if they counter it. Thought Scour resolves. That's 4, 5. So it's not 6 yet. So I don't feel pressured to exile things from the graveyard just yet. Springs. Go to end step. Attempt to resolve command. Target 1, 2. Done. Does this resolve? Counterspell. Verdant Catacombs. Crack it. For a forest. This is mana neutral. For a green. Karn the Great Creator. Does Karn resolve? Force. And pass. Alright, well, that's not looking great, since now they have enough for the Oculus. Was there an argument for not casting Karn? Because as long as we didn't cast Karn into a force, they wouldn't be able to cast Oculus. Would have there been an argument for that? I'm curious to know what your guys' thoughts are. There's the manifest. Another Karn. Does Karn resolve? Karn does resolve. Minus Karn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We could hope to live long enough to resolve a leveler. I mean, they're going to send probably 5 at Karn, 2 at me, down to 17. 7 at me, no, 9 at me, from 17 down to, what, 8? And then lethal? And that's if they don't play anything else in between. It might be worth going E-Bridge and hoping they don't have any more counter spells. So we'll grab the E-Bridge. We'll play the Stomping Grounds tapped. And we'll pass and pray. So, yep, Karn down, 2 at me, down to 17. Undercity Sewers, 3 cards unknown. Trigger resolves. Draw. Devourer. Let's do that. At least this way, the only thing that blanks me is a consign to memory. Devour resolves. The body does not. Oh, unearth. Hold up. The body does. We'll play the Ugin's Lab and pass. There may still be a world where we need to cast this Ensnaring Bridge. So keeping our hand as light as possible will be good. Was not expecting to get this far, I'll be real. Is this a Murktide? We need one more mana for a Murktide, right? That's 4 in the grave. A frog. Murktide. Okay, 6/6 Murktide. Well, let's attempt to rumble. Does rumble resolve? Yes. Karn the Great Creator. We will attempt to resolve Ensnaring Bridge. Does Ensnaring Bridge resolve? Ensnaring Bridge resolves. Okay, we're behind a bridge with Karn in hand. This is really good now. Their only solution's a sink into Stupor. And if we take that, simply enough they lose. Cast Karn. Does Karn resolve? Karn does not resolve. Pass. And they've already used one sink into Stupor. We can see they're the Sporadic Springs. Graveyard Trespasser. Yes. Takes the Karn. That's fine. Well, let's go ahead and cast World Breaker. World Breaker targets. Let's go with the Watery Grave. And opponent will concede. Revealed 2 cards in hand. Thought Scour and an island. Sounds good. Alright, well, solid win there. So Dimir Murktide, win for game 1. We'll bring in Dismember. Bring in Leyline, which kind of is coming into the question. Not sure we'll be keeping Leyline around. And Cut a Dust. On the draw for game 2. I'll keep this. I mean, it's kind of a do-nothing hand, but if we draw anything, we're solid. And Leyline's going to break a lot of what they want to do. There's the Devourer. So as a turn 2 Talisman, turn 3 Devourer. Polluted Delta. Watergrave untapped Thought Scour. Consider. Do we find a Froge? We do find the Froge. Thought Not Seer. Let's take a look at what you have in hand. I'm a little bit scared of a Harbinger. Two Harbinger. And a Force Frog. Well, can't do much about the Harbinger at this point. We could get get rid of the Force in order to resolve Karn. Let's get rid of the Force then. They'll play either Frog or Harbinger. Yeah. Yeah. Get rid of the force. I'll take the beat. You'll draw a card. There's the Harbinger. Well, let's go Talisman. Does Talisman resolve? Talisman resolves. Let's cast Rumble. Does Rumble resolve? Rumble resolves. Let's grab the Forest. Be good to have a basic. And pass. So 3, 4, 5, 6. You will not attack. I will take the 1. You draw a card. Well, let's attempt to resolve Karn again. Counterspell. Counterspell resolves. I will pass. Thought Scour. And, oh, they Thought Scoured me? That kind of helps me, so I'm not sure that's a good idea. We'll pass. I will not block the Froge. Bloodstained Mire. Well, let's attempt to cast the Devourer of Destiny. Does Devour and its trigger resolve? This Harbinger is hurting you more than it's hurting me. Consign to memory. Yes, consign resolves. We'll pass the turn. We'll take the 1. Pitch an Oculus. Yep, makes sense. Draw a card. Leyline of the Void. Unfortunate. Bit of a dead card. So 3, 5, 6. We're short 1 on the breaker. Cycle the Unearth and pass. We'll still take the 2. Pitches another Oculus. Pitches a Harbinger. Pitches a Harbinger. Down to 9. We will have to block next turn. Try and resolve Karn. Karn does not resolve. We'll pass. And pass. We'll block the frog, otherwise we die. let's see if you have a, excuse me, a counter spell or a consign. We'll take out your, I don't know, Watery Graves. Actually, we'll take out the Bloodstained Mire. Imagine you have a counter spell. Be shocked if you didn't. Yep, consign. Alright, well, unfortunate. We shall concede and go to game 3. Alright, let's run it back. On the play for game 3. I'll keep it. Down to 6. To main. Windswept Teeth. Crack. Grab a basic forest. Utopia Sprawl. On black. And pass. And pass. Do you have a spell snare? Seems like you do. Spell pierce. Yes. No. No. Pass. Maybe it would have been right to go green for Utopia Sprawl. That may have been correct in retrospect. Uggin's Lab. To play into the force or not. Let's attempt to exile the Psychic Frog. Does this resolve? It does not. Pass. Verdant Catacombs. Crack Verdant Catacombs. For a forest. Forest. Utopia Sprawl. Does Utopia Sprawl resolve? It does. On black. Utopia Sprawl. On green. Attempt to resolve Karn. Where you're going to see a force. Yes, that is smart. Yeah, I do think I misplayed on turn 1, or rather turn 2, with the Talisman. Actually, even turn 1, we should have put Utopia Sprawl in green. Well, let's attempt to resolve the Talisman. That resolves. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We are, in fact, short quite a bit. That's an important Oculus. Consider potentially looking for a Unearth. Frog will hit me for at least one. Sporadic Springs. Frog. Frog resolves. Commercial District. Top. Pass. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, there is a world where we mill over just the right types for an Emrakul. However, I'm doubtful it resolves, and if it does, I'm doubtful that it will be meaningful. Whereas right now, 1, 2, 3. I mean, we have enough to cast everything else in our deck, so I guess it doesn't hurt. Unearth the Oculus, yes. End step, return Emrakul to hand. Trigger. Let's go ahead and Rumble. Does Rumble resolve? Doubtful, but we'll find out. Spell Snare. 3, 4, 5, 5, 8, 9, 10. However, this is 5, 6, 7. Yes, that's lethal. You got it, friend. Unfortunate. I feel like I always get hit by force right when I don't, like, right at the worst time. That Kozilek's command is a good example. I do think that I did misplay on turn 1 by putting Utopia Sprawl in black and not green, because that would have allowed me on turn 2, instead of trying to cast the Talisman, to then go into a Utopia Sprawl, cast Utopia Sprawl. They would have potentially spell pierced 1. You still would have been able to go into another Utopia Sprawl. So I do think I misplayed there, which would have allowed for me to try and cast a Karn earlier. Either that or a Kozilek's command. Regardless. Let me know down in the comments down below if you think I should have cast the Kozilek's command targeting the Psychic Frog on my turn or my opponent's upkeep. On my turn, I'm betting that my opponent doesn't have a force. On their turn, I'm betting they don't have a counterspell, and if they do, it basically takes away their turn, right? So I don't know. I'm not sure what is better there, but let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are. With that being said, we'll be back for match 5 in just a few short moments. All right, and we are back for match 5 against Azax. Looks like as of 2 days ago, and actually for a while now, they've been on Ruby Storm. So let's take a look at their list. And while we're doing that, we are on the draw. This hand is not keepable, that's for sure. We'll mulligan. This hand is it interesting? I mean, it's a potential turn to Karn, right? We would need to find exactly Lab, though. But it doesn't really do anything else. Not to mention a turn 2 Karn on the draw really isn't doing anything short of wishing for a Tormod script and praying that they can't kill you through their graveyard. So I think we do mulligan again. I mean, kind of the same difference. It's still turn 2 Karn. Either that or command. I guess we can hold up command. So we will keep this. So forest, sprawl, lab, breaker. We want the command, which means we drop district Karn and pass. This at least allows us to interact with Ral if they are still on Ruby Storm, which I think they are. Elegant Parlor. This resolves on red. And pass. Alright, do they go for the kill or they set up? Let's see. Ruby Medallion. That was the worst case scenario. Well, let's Uggin's Lab. We'll hold up the Kozilek's command. X2 for Graveyard Hate, and potentially Ral. Reckless Impulse resolves. There's Ral, there's Ren's Resolve. There's Ren's Resolve. They found a land and a Desperate Ritual. Crack there at Mesa. Play Desperate Ritual. Desperate Ritual resolves. Ren's Resolve resolves. Another Ritual. And an Impulse to boot. Yes. Yes. In response. The question is, do we go after their graveyard or ramp? If we high roll into a World Breaker, that might be good. Otherwise, we can get rid of 2 Ren's Resolves. Let's go ahead. Is the World Breaker really, like, can we high roll into the Breaker? Like, we could. Often suggesting that we can't. But is that chance better than getting rid of impulses just in case? Probably not. So get rid of impulse and resolve. Done. Done. Do you have an instant speed spell? You do not. There's the Past in Flames. So we did... Oh my god. Another Ral. Well, we can get rid of Ral, thankfully. Sowing Mycospawn. Well, now I wish I had made those things. Verdant Catacombs. We can X3 this time. We could have them attempt the Past in Flames, remove Ral, and then the Impulse. I think that's correct. Throw it back to them. Depends on what they have in their hand, right? Begin combat. Yes, I'll take 1. That's fine. In response. Let's crack the Catacombs. For a forest. Exile, exile. Exile Ral. Exile Resolve, Exile Impulse, Exile Ritual. Yes. Actually, if I have 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I still think this is a correct play. Done. Pass. Land and Jesus Christ, another Ral. Let's go ahead and rumble. Eldrazi Temple. We can now kick a Mycospawn. And get rid of Elegant Parlor. I have how much mana? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with Temple, so we can untap with untap, Return Breaker, Cast Breaker, exile Ruby Medallion, and if Ral hasn't flipped, destroy it. We grab the Temple. They crack the Wooded Foothills and Surveil. Okay. They did keep it on top. Glimpse the impossible. Yep. There's a resolve. Ritual. Ren's resolve. Ritual. Then they'll Past in Flames. Surveil land, see what's on top. Bloodstained Mire. Past in Flames. I need them to lose every flip from here on out. Ritual. They won. Alright, let's take a look at Exile. Wish. Yep, so they have what they need now. Yep. You're so close. There's 17, and then Grape Shot. Yep. That will close out game one. So this is Naya Ruby Storm. Lost for game one. I mean, that was a really close one. I guess here's a question. Is there an argument to where I should have let Past in Flames resolve before casting Kozilek's Command and exiling, attempting to exile Ral? Well, no, they would have had instants, wouldn't they? Because the rituals are instant speed. So I don't think that's really an option. Yeah, so I think that what I did was correct. If you think otherwise, leave a comment down below. So we need Dismembers in replace of Returns. Void does make their life more difficult. I think we bring in a Might as well. Let me take a look at my sideboard guide and see if this looks right. Yeah, this looks correct. Though we actually bring in the Stone Brain instead. Alright, let's send it back. And we are on the play for game two. As far as sideboard's concerned, don't think they really bring much in other than maybe a Prismatic Ending. This hand's too slow, even on the play. Mulligan. It's not my favorite in the world. I mean, they can win without their graveyard's the thing, right? Leyline's there to help, but this just feels too slow. Yeah. Even if the Leyline was a Sowing Myco spawn, this still would feel too slow. Because we're looking at a turn 3 play. That's just not doing it. We're looking at a turn 3 Rumble. If this had a 7 drop, I'd say sure, but it doesn't. Yeah, so we need to go down to 5. It's not great, but I think it is necessary. Okay. This looks a lot better. I mean, this is a Rumble. We don't need the Dust. Kind of would like the Shifting Woodland, but it's going to come and play tap, so I'll keep this. Done. Reveal, reveal. Trigger. The Stone Brain. Yes. Let's see if they brought Grape Shot into main. So let's go ahead and Rumble. Thought-Knot Seer's not bad here, but I think I prefer the land. There's like a Strange World where they exile Talisman or the Eldrazi spawn. So I think we go Eldrazi Temple here. Play Temple and pass. There's no point in us casting Stonebrain when we can't then activate it in turn. Past in Flames at a grave makes sense. Past in Flames is not doing much. They do some setup. Alright, let's see if we pulled a fast one on them. Stonebrain. Stonebrain target you. Name Wish. Oh, and I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. Apologies about that. So yes, we're naming Wish. Did they bring in the Grape Shot? They did. Son of a... Alright, well, we tried to pull a fast one, and it did not work. Alright, we'll pass. I guess, did they see Karn last turn? If they did, I guess that explains their hesitancy. There's the Ritual. There's Glimpse. They also played Ral. Ritual. Glimpse. There's a Wear and Tear. They don't have white. Reckless Impulse. A Braid. A Braid takes out the Impulse. Ralph flips. Well, that's unfortunate. We took the gamble with the Brain, and it did not pay off. Well, we can't say that for certain yet. Wear Tear takes out Leyline. We got the white source. So now their Past in Flames is online again. And at this point, they're just trying to find Grape Shot. Yeah, they got it. There's no way they whiff on this. They have way too much value. Glimpse. Won the flip. Show me the Grape Shot. Still no Grape Shot. Manamorphose. I mean, you have the Past in Flames now. You have 12 cards left. Oh, well, we 50-50'd it. I guess we were behind the game. Should we have played it safe and named Ral since Ral wasn't on board? Let me know your thoughts down below. Should we have played it safe and named Ral, or should we have played it risky and named Wish? I'm curious to know what your thoughts are on that. But either ways, that there will end today's league. As always, if you guys did enjoy today's video, it is much appreciated if you could hit that like button and comment down below. For as much as I hope that you guys learn from my gameplay and both my successes and my failures, I hope to learn from you all as well if there were lines that I missed, mistakes that I made, etc. And finally, if you haven't already, please do consider hitting the subscribe button. We are getting closer and closer to our goal of 500 subscribers. And if we hit 500 subscribers, we will shortly after be able to monetize this channel. And that's going to be really significant because that means we'll start being able to save up for our streaming PC. So I'll be able to stream these leagues, challenges, and premiere events live on Twitch for you guys to enjoy. But with that being said, folks, as always, thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.